All right. So the third thing, which you already kind of started to get into a little bit, is PPC. I mean, you look at Amazon's annual reports or their quarterly reports and see what's making them money and what's moving the needle. And PPC, by far and away, is the thing that's doing that the quickest. And I think they are now the third largest advertising platform in the world, behind Google and Facebook, I believe, in just terms of sheer revenue, which is incredible. And I think they're going to be number two relatively soon. And they are really good at figuring out ways to extract more money out of you and create more and more places that are advertising spots. One of my new favorite ones actually is the highly rated products. When you search a search, I mean, I kind of like this one because we have typically highly rated products. So I feel like it gives us an advantage, but it's actually a search. It's another search spot, right, where they're taking more money from you to be up there, and it's so prominent. And so, like, by the time you scroll down past the first half page of results, there might be one organic thing in there. Like, everything above it now is like some sort of brand ad or sponsored product ad or a video ad or highly rated product ad. It's just like they're getting really good at that. And so the bottom line is that you have to be good at it too, right? You have to be able to efficiently spend a PPC and compete in those spots.
Yeah. And just to add a little bit of color here, and we're kind of giving away the farm here and talking about a lot of the things we dive into in the course, but hopefully you guys find this valuable, and then you support Ecom Crew too and check out the course. But number one, just getting back to advertising being a fast growing segment of Amazon. To give you guys some perspective, Amazon just released their Q2 results, and advertising was up 84% year over year. This was their fastest growing division by far within Amazon. So AWS, Prime Video, it's nothing compared to the growth rate in advertising. 84% year over year. Basically, that was double their growth rate of strictly their retail sales. So it's through the roof, 84% year over year. So if you've seen your ad spend go up 84% this year, well, good on you. You're right on average.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to be able to spend efficiently, right? It's not if you go up spend 84%. If we spent 84% more on advertising, I could have worded that a lot better. If we spent 84% more on advertising, then we would be out of business. I mean, advertising is already a large portion of our cost structure. We target a total cost of sales number as a business. That's what we go after. Usually, for most of our brands, it's in that 8% range.
Good on you, Mike.
Is that good or bad? I don't say good on me. I don't.
Well, I talked about this. I talked about this in the in my 4-year update. Is that I'm targeting 10% or less, and the last couple of months we were at 11%, and that doesn't sound like a big difference. Like,
it's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So I've spent the last couple of months getting our team to really get that down. Now we are below that 10%, but if you don't keep an eye on that, holy smokes, man, 10% to 11%, that's a big jump.
I mean, just to put that in context, let's just say you have a $100,000 business. Typically, our net profits are in like a 10% range. A net profit after all expenses, you're making $10K. Well, now you have 3 points higher on advertising. Now you're making $7K. You've increased your advertising spend by 3%. You've reduced your net profit by 30%.
Yep.
When it falls to the bottom line, it is incredibly dramatic. And so we are, as a business overall, we are just a little bit under 8%. Some brands we spend more on, like Wild Baby. It just feels like it's unavoidable. Some brands we spend less on, like the new business we just purchased. Actually, the PPC numbers are just ridiculous.
It is.
But the ones that we operate in general, Ice Traps does quite well with this. We're under that 8% because we do well organically. But regardless, it's a number that you have to be aware of. You have to be talking about, thinking about, and the difference between 8% and 11% is being a hawk on this and being on top of it and understanding the different types of ads that you can run on Amazon. Understanding that it's better to give up sales and not have them at all than to sometimes have PPC sales and drive that ego number that Dave always talks about. The revenue is vanity, the profits are sanity, and that's really, really important in this context.
Just as a little sidebar, Mike and I, we share a couple of different accounts between our brands, and So I logged into one of our accounts, and I seen this new business that you guys purchased. And there's this bar chart which shows your percentage of organic sales and your percentage of PPC sales, or not percentage, actually, gross volume. So, you had your daily numbers there for organic sales, and it was like whatever it was, $10,000 or $20,000 for the day. And I couldn't even see the bar for your PPC sales. I thought, he just
Right.
hasn't had it connected. And then I really squinted, and there it was. It was like 1% of your sales were coming from PPC. It was,
Yeah.
it was mind blowing, because normally those bars are actually almost identical, because most people are, for better or worse, normally around 50% organic, 50% PPC, or 70% organic even, and 30% PPC. But this new brand,
And that's where Ice Traps falls, is that 70-30 blend.
I know. Thanks for throwing salt in the wound too. Actually,
Oh.
30%. You're lower than that. Actually, I checked. I think you're sub 20%.
Maybe it's a little bit lower than that. It depends on what. It's another whole rabbit hole. It depends on what products we actually have in stock at the time. Because like right now, it's either like Amazon takes them out of stock for us by suspending us, or we take them out of stock because we can't get them in stock because of logistics issues. So it's another whole thing. But when things are running at full speed, it's about 30%.
Yeah. Just one thing I want to add to the PPC part, just to give people some takeaway for how they can effectively manage their PPC. So if you're just getting started on Amazon, the one thing you need to know is that your sponsored product campaigns are going to be about 80% of your sales that you generate from advertising. There's 3 segments of Amazon advertising: sponsored products, sponsored display, sponsored brands. Sponsored products are going to be roughly 80% of your sales normally. And when you're managing your sponsored product campaigns, you want to do something called a peel, stick, and block method. Basically, you run your automatic campaigns and you take out the best performing keywords and you stick those in manual targeting campaigns where you can be a little bit more granular with your bidding. And then the poorly performing keywords, you block them and just don't bid on them at all in any of your campaigns, because you don't want to be wasting money bidding on irrelevant search terms. So that's the key that you want to remember: peel, stick, and block. And that's the core fundamental that you need to know when it comes to Amazon advertising.
Yep, and we have a module about this in the course and get into a lot of detail about it. But at a high level, that's what you want to be working on.